Hi there. Hope you guys are doing well. I finally finished that project I was working on. Yeah, it's done. It's done after almost 40 hours. Not in a row. As I mentioned before, I had to chip away at it, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. But after almost 40 hours, blood, sweat, and surprisingly no tears, it's done. And when I say surprisingly no tears, not that I cry when I get frustrated, because I don't, but I almost gave up on it. I'm not gonna lie. When I was about halfway through, I was so fucking fed up with it. My hands were hurting. I kept cutting myself on it. I was bleeding all the damn time, all over the place. I almost gave up, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't, because now it's done, and now I can share it with you. But before I do, I will say it's a big deal for me. Okay? Not only is it a big deal because of what it is and what it means to me, it's a big fucking deal because of the sheer size of this thing. This thing is massive. All right? It's massive, and that's why it took so long. So what is it? Still not going to tell you. I'll tell you in a minute, but before I do, I got to share with you a very sad story. In 2015, I lost my mom. Okay? I do not handle death well. I'm not going to lie about that. I don't fucking handle it well at all, especially with people close to me. My parents being right at the top of that list. So that's why I don't talk about them very often. They broke the mold with my mom, though. And I know everyone thinks that about their mom, and I'm not disagreeing with them, but you know how it goes. If you really love your mom a lot, you think the mold was broken with her. Not only was my mom an amazing woman, she fucking loved Godzilla. Yeah, she absolutely loved Godzilla. And after she had passed and was cremated, she wanted her ashes spread in the creek by her house. Okay. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful area, but it's only a seasonal creek, and I thought that area could use a little something else. So after talking it over with my family members, they agreed with me, and we decided, well, I decided, and they kind of agreed with me, that we would be putting a Godzilla in the creek. Now, you can get giant Godzillas online, and they're only about $3,500. The problem is, they're enormous. And I couldn't get one that would fit in the creek. It was too big, and this creek area is pretty big. If you get a chance, look up giant Godzilla statues online. You'll see what I mean. No way in hell that was going to fit in the creek bed. I'd also talked to some metal workers, and none of them could do what I wanted. So then I went with the next best thing, and I got a custom Godzilla topiary made. Yeah. And it's big. It's about 5 feet wide. Tail is 6 feet long. And this motherfucker stands 13 feet tall. Yeah. So when I say it's a big deal, it's a big deal. Now, this thing's been down the creek bed for a few years. I have planted jasmine. I have planted potato vine. I have also planted trumpet vine. And it's done very well. The jasmine got about 8 feet in 1 year. Trumpet vine and potato vine got about 6 feet in 1 year. And all 3 times, there was a freak snowstorm that happened in April, the end of April. Except for one, which happened on Memorial Day weekend. And when those snowstorms would hit, the vines would be in bloom because it's going into, mid to late spring. And then there would be a lot of snow, and it would fucking kill them. Now, I'm sure you're looking at this picture here going, that doesn't look like a lot of snow. Of course it doesn't look like a lot of snow. This isn't a picture of the freak snowstorms that killed the vines. This is a light dusting of snow because if there's nothing on it, you can't see the outline of the Godzilla topiary. You may also be wondering why it has ears, and I will let you know that the 1954 Godzilla did have ears, and that was my mom's favorite part. She loved it. She thought his ears were adorable, and that's why I had them put on there. Okay, moving on. So this is essentially what the damn thing looks like, okay? It's just a bunch of wire in the shape of a Godzilla, which even standing this close to it, I'm right next to it looking up at it, you can't see very well, okay, when the vines are dead and there's no little dusting of snow on it. I was sick of looking at it like that, so I thought, okay, I got to fill this thing in. I have to fill it in. But with what? Some of you may be thinking moss, and I thought moss too, and it would be a great idea. The problem with moss is it has to be watered all the time. I know, I have moss all over the rocks at my house, and I have to water them. There's no spigot by Godzilla, okay? The closest spigot is a few 100 feet away, and I don't want to have to keep hooking up a bunch of hoses and dragging them over there. Now, with the vines, it wasn't a problem because I could put, water into 5-gallon buckets, haul it down there, and dump it on the vines, and they were good. Moss is not an option. So after thinking long and hard about what I could do, I came up with an idea, okay? And I always give credit where credit is due, and I haven't looked it up. Someone else may have come up with this idea, but to me, I thought of this on my own, and I thought it was a damn good idea. So now I'm going to tell you guys what I did. I got an old artificial Christmas tree for free. Yeah. Someone was giving away an old, crappy, big artificial Christmas tree. And so I took it. Artificial Christmas trees are a pain in the ass because you got to like bend and fluff them. So after removing the lights, that was a pain in the ass, and bending and fluffing, I began cutting off every single little piece, which, mind you, is only about 5 inches long, max. Some of them I can only get about 3-inch pieces off of. So after spending hours, and I mean fucking hours, cutting and cutting and cutting, it was time to start weaving. And I wove little pieces of an artificial Christmas tree into this Godzilla. And I wove some more. Oh, I had to lay him down. That part was kind of fun because I got to pretend like I was King Kong for a minute there and top him over. But okay, anyway. And more weaving. The head, the ears, the arms, and then all the spikes on his back were the hardest part. But, yeah. And more weaving. And then I was finally able to stand him up. That was a big deal. That was a big deal when we stood him back up. And I got to finish his legs off and his tail. And there you have it. I'll go back to it one more time. It worked. It fucking worked. And now I have a giant 13-foot tall green Godzilla in my yard that I don't have to worry about watering, and I don't have to worry about the snow killing because it's artificial. And I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks good. So hopefully I'll be making content more regularly now that I have this project done. But I wanted to share it with you guys because, again, it's a big deal to me because I know my mom would have loved it. Godzilla meant a lot to my mom. My mom meant a lot to me. But as I also said, the sheer size of this also makes it a big fucking deal. Hope you guys liked it. I'll talk to you soon.